Hello there,
and welcome to the Force Discussions
with Hope and Kevin.
Hi, everybody. It's a Star Wars discussion. That's all I have for the intro. Sorry. My wife was trying
Cantina
Oh, I forgot we were Cantina Chat.
But I don't remember if there's any music or not. So
that's
on me, because every time we do a segment, I go, do I have jingle music for that? I should have jingle music for that. So, yes, this is a Cantina Chat.
Yeah, Cantina Chat.
How are you doing today, Kevin?
I'm doing good. Got some. We're in limbo of Star Wars. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, I'm a little marveled out.
I am so marveled out. There was WandaVision, then there was now it's Captain
America,
which they just literally took a title from one of their movies and just like now it's Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
I saw that on TikTok and they're like, so I think they need this. I think they need to give Bucky the
White Wolf. Yeah. It's nice. I mean, they were both fantastic shows, but I'm
marveled out.
I'm not. I'm
a little more because I know. See, Loki doesn't come out until June.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of nice
having a little break.
And then we know this is going to be out on May 4th. So May the 4th be with you. And we figured. And also with you. And we figured it would be the perfect opportunity to do a Cantina Chat.
Yeah.
So we're just doing a random Star Wars podcast.
I'll keep it going.
And we're also recording.
Hi, everybody.
I don't know where this is going to go or how. I mean, are we supposed to look at the camera?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I mean, you look at me all the time.
Oh, yeah. See, actually, maybe I can I'll cheat out. So, because I'm wearing my Princess Leia shirt.
I'm wearing my
Darth
Darth
Vader
name
on
shirt.
Who bought you that shirt?
My wife buys me everything.
Oh, that's right.
I don't buy myself anything.
You don't.
So what happens is when you're a husband, your wife buys you all your clothes because you don't make good choices for clothing.
Well, you just don't have as much style, or you don't care.
I don't have style. Let's go with that.
You don't care.
That is true. I could wear a plastic bag and be like, "Let's go to the beach," and I'd be
perfectly you know
fine.
what? Go to the beach in a plastic bag might be not a bad idea.
Improvement on what I usually wear.
If it falls off and then ends up in the ocean, you've just polluted and killed God knows how many animals, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, it depends on what sea turtle I killed. Like if it was
like the Hitler of sea turtles, it'd be totally fine.
When I was a kid, there was a snapping turtle at a pond near my house.
He was a bastard, and he was a bastard.
He was a jerk. He ate our lines. And there was one time he came up on the shore just like, and I'm like, I need a break.
Boys and girls, it is only okay to litter in order to kill an animal.
I think he's
if
still
the
alive.
Animal is an asshole.
I think he's still alive.
Snapping turtles live.
He's still there.
Live a long time.
Yeah.
He's gonna outlive you.
He is. He's gonna. If I do have children, which I'm not gonna, sorry, but if we do have children, that child's gonna get tormented by that same snapping turtle.
And you're gonna go in a trash bag, and whatever happens.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So we've gotten off track. This is Cantina Chat. We're not talking about murdering animals.
I am.
And
that snapping turtle, dead.
Anyway, I don't know how we got from your style to murdering.
I will put out a warrant for its death. Tens of dollars for the death of that snapping turtle. Hobart's Pond Women Mass.
So we are anyway, I hope I don't see a news report later. On the local news, it's like coming live from Whitman Mass at the Hobart Lake. Someone has killed this 100-year-old snapping turtle. It is the last of its kind, ladies and gentlemen. We are shocked.
I don't think it's
shocked at the scene.
I don't think it's 100 years.
Right
I think when I saw it, it was like maybe 50. And since a snapping turtle,
and then they try to be like, "Let's talk to the killer, Mr. Lanza."
I would not be surprised if my dad went to the pond and just killed it. I'm like, I finally got it.
Okay, wait, we're way off track. Anyway.
Cantina Chat. Kill the turtle.
So, we are going to talk about our first, a couple of favorite Star Wars moments, or just Star Wars moments.
In lieu of May 4th.
Yes. So there's 3 different things we're going to touch base. Our first Star Wars memories, or the first thing that made us connect and feel something with Star Wars. Our favorite Star Wars moments, like good moments, heartwarming, you know, whatever, things that made you cry, laugh. And then funny or absurd things that you're like, I can't believe, like, who throws a shoe? Honestly. So stuff like that, like crazy shit that they did. Not necessarily bad. Like, it's not going to be, let's trash The Last Jedi.
Non-toxic Star Wars.
It's non-toxic. So it's just funny things, or that, like, one of the things for me is Mace Windu dying, going, and falling out a window. Because when you see the behind the scenes, I'm sorry, but that's all I can imagine in the movie.
Yeah, he just like falls on a mat.
Falling on a mat out a window. Like, it is what it is. That was not the most, I don't know, believable death scene. Sorry, Samuel. I love you, but anyway. So, Kevin.
My first memory for Star Wars was actually watching Empire Strikes Back. Because this is what happened to me. I started watching Star Wars. Like, I think when my friends brought over VHS tape of Empire Strikes Back. And I was like...
I have the VHS of Empire Strikes Back in that cabinet.
Yeah. But, so they brought it over and we started watching it. And I can't remember if one of my... like a bunch of us. We started watching it. So the first thing I saw was the saving of Han Solo. Like, that whole...
You mean Luke?
Luke saving Solo.
Oh, Han Solo saving Luke?
No. Luke's, like, the whole beginning scene of Empire when Luke is going to Jabba's palace and trying to save Han.
That's
Return of the Jedi. What did I say?
You said Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, Empire Strikes. I'm sorry.
And Empire Strikes Back is on Han.
I'm sorry. I said the wrong Empire.
You meant Return of the Jedi. When, like,
sorry,
dark,
you're right.
Like black Luke, like he's
darked up thing. So I saw that whole.
He's very.
But I saw that whole thing where, like, he fights the Rancor. And the owner's
cries.
sad. And then
when the owner of the Rancor cries, sorry, that's really funny.
But I saw that whole thing, like, even that little scene where, like, they're all just nodding, like that scene. I saw that, and then one of my friends goes, "Oh wait, this is the third movie," and then we stopped it.
And it was the first thing you had seen.
It's the first thing of Star Wars. So they stopped the movie.
How old were you? Like 6?
Maybe 8.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 8 or 9.
Okay.
But they, like, one of our friends realizes this is the third one.
Right.
So we stop it hard, and I'm like, I wanna know. It's like, I didn't get to see the Luke Skywalker flipping around on the surfboard saving lives. I got to that scene and hard cut. So I was like, what the hell? So then I had to watch...
you have no
I had no context. Yeah, I had nothing.
For the rest of the characters.
But then I started watching the movie. Then I started watching the first one, and I see Luke Skywalker, Whiny McPants, in the first one going like, I want to get some power converters.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
what the heck happened? Like, I have missed a lot.
Luke grew up. He went on a journey.
He grew up a lot.
He manned up. We watched A New Hope last night. And oh my God.
The whininess of
He's so whiny. He's so whiny. And I said, he's definitely Anakin's son.
Yeah.
He was like, but I want to go to the touchy station. And I was like, okay.
I want to hang out with my friends. There's a galaxy trying to kill us.
Your dad is murdering people all over the place. You need to step in and help.
Yeah.
No. So your first memories was watching the wrong one. So did you not enjoy A New Hope the first?
Oh, I did, but it was just like I didn't care for Luke. I cared for everyone else. So when I got to Empire Strikes Back, the second one, I started not giving a crap that Luke was getting training by a frog. Like I was like, oh. Like, and I love Muppets. I know he's not technically a Muppet, but
no,
I love that.
He was built by the Jim Henson Company.
He was.
But what's funny that you say frog, because George Lucas was like, if we don't get this right, this Yoda right, it's going to look like Kermit the Frog running around. And he was right, because when you see the behind the scenes, it looks like a frog running around. They made it work. Frank Oz is a vocal genius, and those special effects are amazing because... it looks a little bit like a frog running around.
Let's be honest. the way it worked. No, it wasn't just from the special effects and everything else. They did a fantastic job. But having Yoda like talk really messed up, like backwards talk, that helped because then it's like
he sounds prophetic, even if he's not.
Yeah, he'd be like, over there is. Like,
and you're like,
a stick.
Oh, that's so.
That's
profound.
a stick. Yeah,
and you're like, he just said it in the wrong order.
He just said
he
the
would
words
fail a grammar quiz.
Yeah. He'd mess up. So
he would fail so
everyone
hard.
focused on those words.
Right.
Then they would focus on the fact that, wait, is that a frog?
Right.
That's
you liked the first, but you did like the first one.
I liked the first. I loved it after that.
Well, because
that
then
was fantastic.
you see the end
but
and the.
That's what put me down the road of when I got older and I started like reading the book, doing the comic books, or looking up stuff literally on YouTube or anything else. Started looking at the stories of Star Wars more than the characters of Star Wars, because some people watch a movie like, oh, I like that character. I'm only going to watch this if that character's in it. Me, I didn't care anything for the main character, so I cared about everyone else.
Right.
So I'm like, well, that alien has a flat head and it's crotched up. That's weird. I'm going to look up what that character is. Like, that was my thing.
So I honestly don't remember, like, my, quote, first experience with Star Wars. I know I watched one of them as a child, like 6 or 7. Like my mom or my dad, we had like a family movie night or something. But I remember when I was young, my friend Brett had all the action figures. So when we would play together, he would be telling me, I had no idea what he was talking about, but we would play with the action figures. They were cool. And then I vaguely saw the movies, but then when I was 10, they came out in 97 for the 20th anniversary, re-released in theaters, and I went with Brett and his dad, and we saw all 3 of them in the theaters.
All in a row, or just?
No, because it was over like the summer, so you saw like the first one, and then like the next month, like they were re-releasing them.
Each month they did a new one.
However it worked, I don't remember, but I remember seeing them, and it was awesome. And then I was like, oh, this makes more sense. And then I didn't really appreciate them until, well, then the prequels came out, actually. Like 2 years later, the prequels came out. And I thought they were cool, but my first experience was playing with my friend Brett with the action figures and then seeing them. I did get to see them in the theater. Now, they were altered.
Yeah.
But I still got to see them in the theaters.
First, guys. Han shot first.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then I became obsessed after the third episode 3. Like, I saw the 1, 2, and 3 in the theaters. I liked the second one okay. I didn't care for the love story. Sorry, George.
George can't write a love story.
And I also didn't appreciate the story at the time. I was like just too 15-year-old. Like, I was just too much of a 15-year-old girl to give a shit about a clone army. But then...
Yeah, and the banking reasons why.
Right. But then, when episode 3 came out, I was a senior. I loved it, and I saw that movie 5 times. And my obsession...
Yeah,
I went back because we had them all on DVD. I rewatched all the...
Our lives, by the way, just rewatching Star Wars. We just rewatched so you all know.
I rewatched the originals.
We relive our lives
through
over and over again through Star Wars.
So my first memory is really with Brett and experiencing it, like with a friend who loved Star Wars and still does. What about your favorite moments? And it could be obviously more than one, but like
my favorite moments?
Like moments in the movies or in Star Wars in general, like scenes or dialogue or characters that you like, stuff that happened that you thought was cool.
My favorite moment is Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not my favorite moment is cliche, but it is it's the Emperor Palpatine with the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Because that got my eyes open, like, there's more of you guys? Like, that's awesome. But my real original one was, it has to be later. It has to be when Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker are fighting. Because it's a fire battle? Because it's not just... it's definitely a fight of good and evil. That's what it is. You can't say it's not.
It literally is the light versus the dark.
It's literally light versus the dark. But And they did kind of find it weird, like the reason why, like, you know, Anakin's choking his wife. And she's like, "Oh, you turned her against me." I'm like, "You're choking your wife. Like, calm down." But I loved the scenes and all the dialogue between them. They could have just had the dialogue, and that would have been fine. Like the lightsaber battles were amazing, but the dialogue was good.
Were the best.
The fact that they're arguing over like what is good and what is evil, I thought that was awesome. And then as I get into the comic books and everything else, they go hard into that stuff about like, was the Jedi actually really good, or were they just holding on to a part while other parts of the galaxy were being, you know, tortured and slaved and everything else? And I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, that's pretty bad too. It's like, we don't go to that planet. Why? Well, because they don't like us. But what's happening? Oh, lots of slavery. Yeah, like lots of beatings every day. Like, and we don't help them. No, they're not in our club.
Let me think of a favorite moment. Okay, well, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite prequel. I love the Mustafar battle, but I love, of course, the scene when he's like, "I hate you," and he's like, "I loved you. You're my brother." That whole thing, I cried so hard. I was like, "This is so stupid. I can't believe I'm crying," but I would cry, and because Ewan is such a good actor, and Hayden, I'm so glad that he's back.
Oh yeah,
he's for Kenobi series. When they said they were bringing him back, I was like, because I never didn't like Hayden Christensen. People had a problem with him.
I hated him
in episode 2, and my problem was not with him. It was with George.
He directed
and the dialogue. George, I know he's had conversations with other human beings. I just don't know if he's actually ever listened to them, because how he speaks to his wife, who's gorgeous, by the way. But his dialogue was just bleh. I didn't have a problem with Hayden. I thought he was great, and especially in episode 3.
Yeah.
So I loved that scene, and I loved all their fighting scenes on Mustafar. I think it was in episode 3 when Ewan finally is very Obi-Wan and is like, "Hello there."
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
nice.
"Ow, my heart!" Like, Ewan McGregor is just, I can't imagine anybody else playing a young Obi-Wan. He just,
even
he is one of my favorite moments. Just him. Period.
Throughout the whole prequel, it was just like, how can we rewrite characters we had from the original? So they really just
how can we flush out characters but still stay true to the character that we created 20 something years ago that the fans loved, but we're showing that, like, he really did a wonderful job, and he studied. And so this one, it really is going to be a testament. He's going to be much more, I think, like that Obi-Wan that we see, Alec Guinness.
Yeah, Alec Guinness.
And I'm excited. Of course, he still looks amazing. He hasn't aged.
I do love that Ewan McGregor literally, every time they talk about lightsaber battles in an interview with him, everyone goes like, "That's not a lightsaber." Like, he likes the original. He hates the hilt of the prequels, which I find is hilarious.
He hates it. So, in episode 1, because the lightsaber, because George obviously already had it in mind that he was going to lose his lightsaber, because obviously the one that Obi-Wan has in
Anakin's.
In later times is not his original. So he let Ewan pick it, meaning they had like 5 hilts, and he got to pick which one he wanted for episode 1. After that, no, it was whatever lightsaber. But what I love about Ewan McGregor is whenever they bring up lightsaber, he's like, he has to fight.
Well, yeah,
he wants to pick up the lightsaber. He was on Graham Norton, and they had like our diesel ones, like a really nice like fighting lightsaber and everything, and they're like a couple $100. And
they are.
He was, and it was like, wow. He's like, I had to do this for months.
Yeah, he had to practice
for 3 movies.
Yeah, so essentially learn how to fence with an electronic blade.
It was 8 years on and off of sword fight training. Like, that's like choreography. Like, it doesn't really go away. It's like muscle memory, like riding a bike. So I love that he's always like, he'll do his thing. And Ray Park's the same way, but he's actually a stunt coordinator and choreographer. So I love Ewan McGregor. He is like big part.
I know.
Like my favorite part of Star Wars.
Ewan McGregor is literally even
Period.
before Star Wars. She would call him her first husband.
Well, actually,
so I'm her second husband.
So what's funny is I know I saw him in Phantom. I know I saw him in Phantom Menace, and I was like, oh, he's really cute, right, whatever. But then in between episode 1 and 2, Moulin Rouge came out, and I was 13. Okay. I saw that movie 3 times in the movie theaters solely to watch Ewan McGregor sing to me. Or sing to Nicole Kidman.
sing to me.
And pretend that I was Satine, or at least I was his love. And oh my God, I loved him so much. And then I liked him in episode 2, of course. And then, oh my God, Daddy Obi-Wan Kenobi in episode 3. Hello. And I was 18 then, so I was like, I'm a woman now, so
we can do things.
Yeah. So my obsession with him grew and yes, I did refer to him as my husband, Ewan McGregor, whenever I would talk to people in college.
Now he's the first husband.
Then I got with you, and I would still, when we were dating, still refer to him as my first husband.
So it was really
weird. Or my husband. Then we got married, and I said, my first husband, Ewan McGregor. Because, I'm sorry, but in my 13-year-old mind, he was my husband.
I like how even in my life, I'm still the second.
Do you know that for a long time, I was like, he's only 16 years older than me. I'm like, that's not that bad. Like, as a 15-year-old.
I can't complain.
I was 15, he was 30-something, and I'm like, it's not that bad.
Your obsession with him got you to get with me, so there we go.
There you go.
Tricked.
So, okay, another, heartwarming, or no, it doesn't have to be heartwarming.
Heartwarming. Has to be heartwarming.
Or heartworming, like heartworm.
I have a funny one.
Okay, well, so we can jump around. Okay, fine. I guess we're moving on to the next segment. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, that's how segments work.
No, but are you done?
Listen,
are you done with all your favorite moments? Because that train is leaving the station. I'm checking it off my list with my OCD-ness. Are you done with your favorite? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, we're good.
If you have another favorite moment,
we could bring it up later.
You can interject it at a later date.
Thank you.
Please submit.
I'll submit the
your
form.
paperwork.
I'll submit.
I will review. It will be under review for at least 24 hours.
form, and I will make sure it is submitted.
And stamp and
All right.
You better start thinking about it. Here's your forms.
My postage forms. Got it. All right.
Funny.
So I have my favorite. Now this is one of my favorite ones. It's one of my ones because I always never know anything production wise. You're usually the movie person,
and I love it. I know it's been. Ooh, sorry. I literally tried not to do that.
It's a
spoon.
Fuck you, it's
spoon.
okay. It's all right. Spoon. But I always really try.
I think it's the theater kid in me.
Yeah, you like the production stuff. I'm always the story person. I'm the one that in this comic, this one time, this guy had a Star Wars fork.
And you have to know everything about their character down to the boot buckle. Yeah. It's insane.
His reasons for being that mean was
and why he picked that metal and those colors.
Because
that
was, yeah.
Okay, continue.
Many things. But there was one that I was reading up. I was reading up yesterday because I wanted to make sure I had one that wasn't an actual story funny. It was a production funny. So when they were doing the episode 4, A New Hope, which at that point was just Star Wars. They wanted to do the scene in Libya, on the border of Libya and another country.
Well, they filmed in Tunisia.
Tunisia and Libya. The way they were filming, they were on the border. At least that's from how the story goes. And I guess the guy who was in charge of Libya, the dictator at the time, saw a sandcrawler and told the movie production to move the military tank away from his border or he will start invading. So to not have an international incident, he just moved the sandcrawler because they thought it was a military tank. And he almost literally so that means George Lucas, in the words of Star Wars, almost caused the war.
That's funny.
I think it's funny as hell.
Nuclear war. No,
not nuclear war. It would have been we're like 5 guys with a gun, move it.
No, but if you think about it, I understand they are, alien or whatever, but they are modeled after tanks, and so they were. I forgot that back then they were not computer like
Yeah,
generated.
they're not. They had to build the scale, and it was the model. That's all it was.
Wait,
but
you said
it was Libya.
Well, Libya and yes, they are on the yes. Tunisia's really a small country. Wow. But yeah, it borders.
Today.
Sorry, I didn't realize how small Tunisia was. So half of Tunisia is the Star Wars set. No, it is on the border of Libya. That's scary. That is a little bit scary.
Can you imagine sitting there trying to film it on someone? All of a sudden you get a letter like, if you do not move your military vehicle, we will start invading your camp, which will cause us to be invading.
I just tried to scratch my ear.
Yeah, you did. I saw that. You're like, let's scratch the ear through this headphone.
No, I have a funny joke or funny story about Tunisia. Well, not really funny.
Funny. I just went with a possible war, so let's see what you come up with.
No, it's not funny. Well, it's not. Okay. The first production, in the 70s, they filmed it in Tunisia, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And like they had a sandstorm, it blew down like all their sets. They had to rebuild. It was a nightmare. R2 kept getting stuck and all this shit. It was a nightmare to film there. So then in 1997, George decided to go back. And guess what? The exact same thing happened. There was a major sandstorm. All the sets were wiped out. They had to rebuild. Now they have billions of dollars, though. They had to rebuild them. And I remember the producer was like, they literally woke up the next day because everything was set the night before. And they woke up. And it was gone. Sand everywhere, sets down, blown, costume, whatever. And the producer was like, well, and he hadn't been around the first one, but he knew. He's like, well, the exact same thing happened on the first one. And the George was like, maybe that's a good sign. Like, maybe it's a good thing because that movie turned out
fantastic.
Great. Yeah. You know, maybe this is like a good omen. But I just, like, you saw the destruction and I was like, oh my God, if I was a production crew, I'd fucking kill myself. But yeah, so same thing happened, but he decided to go back. But that house is still the homestead of Owen and Baru, Lars, is still in Tunisia. People can visit it. I think there's a bunch of...
There's a whole thing around there.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. So any other funny or... absurd or funny moments in, like, the movies that you're like...
You know what? I actually literally on my phone got one little thing. So I guess this is a sequels one, but I guess this one I had to look up because I didn't believe it was true. The porgs only exist to cover up screen stealing puffing, which I guess is... Oh,
yes. There were puffins. No, puffins.
Yeah.
There were birds.
Yeah.
All over the island. So they had to put, I have to say, the porgs are really cute. But I understand it was a logistic thing.
Yeah.
But it was also like, let's sell a fucking toy.
Yeah,
like,
let's
sell
real. But I love
We own one. Hello, it worked. It's a puppet.
It's a puppet. I love puppets.
And it makes noise and it's so cute. But yeah, I read that too. I was like, holy shit. It was really
let's cover
production thing. Like, we need to cover up something. Okay, something like, though, like, I mean, a character choice, a plot choice, something that a choice they made that you're like, really? You're gonna go with that? Okay.
I'm all right. If I have to go with a funny thing that, a funny thing for,
well, I was trying to think
as a character,
or I don't know, something funny. I'm trying to think of like.
So what was she saying? Was my thing wasn't funny?
No.
I'm kidding.
No, what I meant was it was another behind the scenes. It was another like behind the scenes, not something part of the story. You know what I mean? But now I can't think of one, and now I can only think of behind the scenes stuff, like when Ewan McGregor would like play with his lightsaber and pretend it was like a dick.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I could go on and say that the original Star Wars Return of the Jedi was going to end up with Luke being evil. Like that's one. One of the original scripts and endings was going to have that after he killed Vader, he was going to turn and say, "Now I'm Vader."
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and it didn't set well. It doesn't make sense. Well, because at the time it was going to be Revenge of the Jedi, not Return of the Jedi.
Well, yes, but yes, and then
they realized,
think when they changed that ending, and he said,
"Yeah, there's no
Jedi
revenge.
don't take revenge," and that's why he used Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So that's you're right about that.
Yeah. If I'm gonna go with funny moments that went on, I'm gonna go with the sheer fact that literally throughout all of the movies, someone hits their head on the top part, and they kept it in.
Oh my God!
They hit
it like their helmet, like this way.
Yeah, they always smack their head.
People fall.
Yeah.
And they leave like stuff like that in all the time. Yeah.
I love all those things because it's so stupid. It's like
something about the originals when you said
all those. What do you got?
Something I can't remember now. It was something about Luke being evil, but now I can't remember where my train of thought went for that. But that's okay.
Well, I mean, I still find if I'm gonna go with what I think was funny, I still find it funny that in the prequels, the sequels, I'm gonna be bashing you sequels, I'm sorry, but we have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
But in there, Luke Skywalker, literally in the originals, his dad murdered people. He learned all about the things that his dad did. And then went to go mass genocide the children. He learned about them. And then he goes and saves them. And he's like, there's still good in him.
He's still, but the Emperor was like, kill your dad and join me. He's like, no. And not only because I'm not going to join the dark side, but two, like you said, I still believe there's good. Feels the good in him. There's light in him. Yeah. And I can't give up on my father. Yeah. This is why this is what happened to him, because somebody gave up on him.
And this is where I agree 100% with Mark Hamill on his depiction when he first. I actually like you for the Joker, Mark Hamill. And you're not watching this, so might as well.
Whatever, but please play the Joker.
Please play the Joker again,
like
please.
Live action.
Oh my God, like I have so many ideas for you.
Like an old man Joker.
I want Hannibal Lecter Joker.
Okay, wait, continue. Wait, before you get onto the Joker, continue your.
But here's the thing, and then in the sequels, for some reason, you felt a spark of anger from Kylo, and the lightsaber immediately, I'm gonna kill him.
And they're like, yeah, but
it was a moment.
It was a moment, and he didn't actually, like, what Kylo showed was a lie. Like, he didn't actually go to swing at him. He stopped himself.
He woke up with a lightsaber above his head. I think he was trying to kill me too.
Kylo was a teenager at that time. A teenager. Yeah. Vader was a 50-year-old man when he is doing these atrocities across the galaxy. Okay, he obviously knows better. He's a 15-year-old kid. I don't care if you had a vision that he murdered people. Like, your instinct should be, I want to change that outcome for the better. Yeah. How can I save? Like, I can't believe he gave up on his nephew so fast. Yeah. And I understand he didn't actually do it, but even to have that moment, I don't think, especially an older, wiser Luke that is rebuilding the Jedi Order. They're in a period of time where the Empire is not in control yet again, and they are trying to restore peace to the galaxy. And you're telling me that in that moment he's gonna get so angry he doesn't have the foresight to be calm, and I don't know. I just don't believe that.
I mentioned that so I could get to my funny moment, which is, why the heck was Luke in his bedroom in the first place? What, are you sneaking up on your grant?
Because
what are you doing on your nephew?
Maybe he probably had that. Up. No, he was probably walking around at night and walked by his nephew's room and had that feeling or whatever, and looked in his room and then was like, and then stopped.
I think he was like, because being creepy.
When you think about Luke in The Last Jedi, he's very like you said, compared to Episode 4, he's calm.
Yeah, he changed completely.
He's like Obi. He's actually more like Yoda.
Yeah, he's more Yoda-ish.
Which makes sense. Like, because he's trained the most. Yeah. By Yoda, but has that presence of him that also reminds me of Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
A lot, and then as he gets older, he gets like, I don't know, angry. It just didn't make sense to me. I didn't like when Mark Hamill said how, and I know he retracted or rephrased it. Yeah. That he disagreed with the handling of his character in The Last Jedi, and I kind of agree. I don't like the way they portrayed him, and I know they retconned a lot in Rise of Skywalker. It's an okay movie. I'm not going to say it's great, because it's not. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I know it's fan service, but I did appreciate when he came back as a Force ghost, and when he catches the lightsaber and he says, you have to have more respect than that. and he comes back as the Luke that I feel like we knew, that's like wiser and like you have the knowledge, you know, like almost like Obi-Wan was like, you know what you need to do, you need to see it, you know. I just was like, that's the Luke, that's the Luke that we know.
Well, hey,
what the fuck was that?
Not to go off topic on
Sorry.
this, but yeah,
you said it wasn't going to turn into
I told you not to do that.
I'm sorry.
But I find it even funnier that Obi-Wan turns into a Force ghost, and at the last episode that he could possibly be there, he like turns up for a full conversation with Luke, which means that in the Empire Strikes Back, when he was telling him to go see Yoda, he could have probably just been a Force ghost next to him and trained him up.
Maybe he didn't. No, but maybe he didn't have that training yet to appear as a Force ghost. Maybe he needed a couple more years.
I know, but it's just really funny. Well, actually, that's what he was on doing.
You know, I'm Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. Well, that's what he was.
Although, sorry, finish.
I'm just saying, that's what he was doing on Tatooine that whole time, is learning how to be a Force ghost. Then he becomes a Force ghost, and he's like, Go to Yoda. Why?
Yeah, because Yoda was still alive.
I know, but it would really fun.
I think if Yoda had been gone already, Obi-Wan would have been like, oh great, I guess I gotta do it.
I just find it funny because that must have been exactly what the first conversation with Yoda, when he's like, he's too old, he's too this. It's really like, you literally can train him. You literally don't need my permission. You tried to train Darth Vader when I told you don't do it. So now am I gonna go train someone because you want me to do it? How the table has turned.
Obi-Wan was like, so I fucked up with his dad, so I'm gonna send you to the principal, and the principal's gonna teach you because I'm not qualified.
I just find it funny that
my only student fucking almost destroyed the whole galaxy.
Obi-Wan was so like, this has to happen, this has to go, and then it's like you go and see the prequels and he's like, I'm gonna do it, Yoda, you can't stop me. And then like, later on he's like, I really gotta do this, and Yoda's like, well, I'm not gonna do it. How's it feel? How's it feel? He's like, literally the entire galaxy is like, well, you go train him. You're talking to me, you can talk to him. You're just a Force ghost.
Yoda was also a little crazy. Like, he was a million years old and he was a hermit. And
I know, but it's just really funny that how literally the tables turned in the prequels to the originals.
to the
I just find it so funny. It's like, you have to do it. You have to do it. No, I don't.
So, Force Ghosts, at the end of Return of the Jedi, the only defense I will say for putting in Hayden Christensen instead of the other actor, which also wasn't the actor who played Darth Vader in the helmet anyway, but
no, it wasn't. That was David.
No, well, see, David Prowse only played him in episode 1.
That's
4.
true. That's true.
But what I mean is the actor at the end, the guy that you see who's like, let me take a look at my son. I don't even think that's the same actor that was the fucking Force Ghost.
No.
My defense of putting Hayden Christensen in instead is that...
In Return of the Jedi.
Yes, is because he is going back to Anakin. So, to me, it would be the last time that he was truly Anakin, and that was back in before Revenge of the Sith. I don't think he would, you know what I mean?
So I
know he's not aged, but
I looked it up.
Fuck.
Because
he's hot.
I looked it
up. I want a hot Force Ghost.
I want a hot Force. I want to be looking good when I'm
I want to look good.
I want to look good like this. I looked it up how Darth Vader became a Force Ghost as not Hayden Christensen. Well, he did as Anakin Skywalker.
Okay.
And it's the dumbest reason I've ever heard in my life.
Of course it is.
So what happened was, as he's dying.
He's dying.
He's dying.
In front of
like,
Luke.
No, Luke's now. Well, technically, yeah, he's running in front of Luke. As he's dying, he goes into the afterlife world, and he's about to go to the netherworld of the Force, which is the hell of Star Wars. Oh, I know, right?
I hate when this happens.
Who comes around? Obi-Wan grabs him and goes, if you do these 3 things right now, you will become a Force Ghost.
Where is this information?
It is in, I'm not even kidding, it's in it, but you can look it up. You have a computer.
No, but where is it? Like,
it's in a comic book.
Oh, it's in a comic book. Is it canon?
It's apparently canon. And even I.
Okay, well, I'll have to verify the
because
canon
I think it's 3 things he had to
status.
do, and I'm not even kidding. It made me feel like it was a
okay.
Christmas
So what
story.
are the 3 things?
I don't know what they are. They don't really like. They like go like think of this, do this, or feel
Find
like this.
Like find the Tin Man. I
feel like it was.
Find the lion.
It was like do a couple of things you can
go to
Force
Oz,
Ghost.
melt the witch.
Know what they tried to. I think what they tried to say was I'm not sure on this because I was laughing so hard when I was reading it that I gave up on it. But I remember it being like, I'm gonna give you the knowledge to become a Force Ghost, but you have to understand. You change the light side, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, there you go, you're a Force Ghost. But that's
laughing. Like the Catholic.
Yeah.
Do you repent all your sins?
Exactly.
Yeah, all that coke I did, I totally regret it.
I totally regret it.
It was not the best time of my life, at all. It was terrible. Am I forgiven? Awesome, cool. I'm like, what?
That's exactly what's happened. So, but I really wish, just as a joke, someone would make a Christmas Carol of Anakin Skywalker as he's coming up.
And the 3 things he has to do, it's like the ghost of the Christmas, but Force Past,
present, future. I thought that because then he would have to actually go into the future in the sequels and see his whiny grandson. We're like,
who?
His grandson.
Oh, we'd have to see. Oh my God, you'd have to see Kylo Ren.
And he probably
be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And just to screw with us, have him be talking to the damn helmet and going, "That's not me."
You think that's me?
Show me the dark. I'm not doing that.
No, you're like, you don't even know what me. You don't even know what I sound like. That's not me.
Oh my God, I want that in my life because it'd be so funny.
I would never say that.
Or just have him sitting next to him, being like the deaf guy's like pointing it out, like the, force of future or whatever. And I'm just pointing at him like, I'm not saying that. How is that my future? I can't be. But it's your helmet that's saying that.
Oh my God.
That kid's crazy. All right.
But then, so I'm like, what would be the final thing he has to understand and overcome in order to become a Force Ghost?
I don't know.
Like Scrooge had to learn not to be selfish and greedy and think about others and not hoard his wealth and understand that you can, if you have the means that you should help other people.
That death is inevitable. I think that should be the thing. That death is inevitable. So at the end of the whole thing, he's like, all right, just accept I'm dead and I'm going to go to the netherworld. And always one's like Charlie the Chocolate Factory. You did it. You won. You passed.
Charlie. You won.
Did it, Annie. You did it. Don't call me Annie. Oh, no, netherworld.
Oh, now he's evil again. Don't call him Annie.
Don't call me Annie.
That's
the trigger.
That's the light dark side switch.
Anakin. Mayor Yoda. Don't say it. Maybe I will.
Orphan Annie, you are. Okay. So yeah, that was some funny and not absurd things that didn't happen in Star Wars that we didn't.
No, but that's why I was talking about the Force because I really wanted to lead up to that because it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That is
pretty weird.
And it makes no sense whatsoever. But literally, that means it happened within like a couple of hours, and then ta-da!
You're a Force Ghost.
You're a Force Ghost, which makes it.
You're right, because it's at the fucking end of the movie that he's like, "Oh, I'm back to being Anakin again."
But that
gives like whatever they chant in Ewok in Endor.
But it fills up the perfect amount of time for sleeping at night and waking up in the morning, going, "What day is it, son?"
Oh my God!
It fits perfectly.
Well, and
where's that comic book, George?
There's a lot of things that I would like. An explanation or more from George. Okay, so the last couple of minutes, we wanted to do a game.
Yep.
Protagonist switch.
My favorite game.
Protagonist switch. I noticed that all my intros for segments sound the same.